Hey there, friends. Let's be real for a moment. No one's perfect. We all mess up, fall short of our ideals, and carry around those little flaws that make us human. But here's the key difference. There's a world between folks who recognize their shortcomings and genuinely try to do better, and those who seem wired for malice, always scheming to bring others down. You know the type. People who thrive on chaos, spreading hurt not just to you, but to anyone in their path. Maybe it's rooted in deep-seated traumas from their past, or perhaps a personality disorder that's twisted their worldview. Whatever the cause, one thing's clear. You don't owe them your time or energy. Steering clear isn't about being judgmental, it's about protecting your peace. Think about it. Have you ever had a friend who celebrates your failures more than your wins? Or a colleague who undermines you at every turn, leaving you drained and doubting yourself? These aren't just bad days, they're patterns that scream warning. But here's where ancient wisdom steps in, straight from the Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. They teach us to first look inward. Embrace your own flaws with honesty, not shame. Then, observe the world around you with clear eyes, not to divide or condemn, but to build a deeper understanding. It's about fostering harmony in your life, choosing relationships that uplift rather than erode. Stoicism isn't some dusty philosophy. It's a practical toolkit for navigating real-world messiness, helping you walk through life with truth as your guide and knowledge as your shield. In this video, we're diving into 5 telltale signs of truly malicious people, viewed through that Stoic lens. Spotting them early can save you heartache and empower you to surround yourself with the good stuff. Stick around. By the end, you'll feel equipped to protect your inner circle and live more intentionally. Let's get into it. Hey friends, welcome back to our journey through the Stoic lens, spotting those red flags of malicious behavior. Today, we're diving into the first warning sign, the urge to control. Now, let's be honest. Wanting some control is human nature. We all crave a bit of certainty in this wild, unpredictable world. But here's where Stoicism flips the script. True control isn't about bending others to your will or micromanaging their lives. It's about mastering yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your inner peace. Everything else, the actions of others, the chaos of life, that's outside your grip, and trying to clutch it only leads to frustration. Picture this, you're in a relationship and someone says they are just looking out for you. Sounds sweet, right? But then it morphs into demands. Change this, don't go there, stop talking to them. That's control masquerading as care. It's not love, it's insecurity, fear, or even selfishness wearing a disguise. The Stoics, like Seneca, would call this a misunderstanding of freedom. Each of us is the master of our own choices, and trying to control someone else's is a recipe for pain. It sparks jealousy, builds walls, erodes trust, and chips away at self-esteem for both sides. Ever felt trapped by someone's expectations or caught yourself trying to fix someone else's path? That's the control trap, and it's a joy killer. Let me paint you a picture. Meet Jack and Julia. Their relationship started with trust and laughter. But over time, Jack's fear of losing Julia took over. He started questioning her friends, checking her phone, telling her what she should wear. It wasn't love driving him, it was fear. Julia tried to adapt at first, thinking it showed she cared, but soon she felt suffocated, like her freedom was slipping away. Arguments flared, trust crumbled, and eventually they parted ways. The lesson: love thrives on trust and freedom, not control. Seneca put it perfectly. Can you no longer see a road to freedom? It's right in front of you. You need only turn over your wrists. In other words, let go of what you can't control and choose how you respond instead. So, here's a question to chew on. Are you trying to control the uncontrollable, or are you respecting the freedom of those around you? Stoicism reminds us that our real power lies within, our ability to stay calm, to choose our reactions, to focus on our own growth. When you let go of trying to steer others, you free yourself too. You start building relationships rooted in trust, not tension. And that, my friends, is the path to a freer, more tranquil life. Stay tuned for the next sign to keep your life grounded in truth and wisdom. Hey friends, Welcome back to our series on spotting malicious behavior through the Stoic lens. Today, we're diving into the second warning sign, the mask of charm. You know that feeling when you meet someone who's just magnetic. They light up the room, say all the right things, and make you feel seen, heard, and valued. It's like a spell, and let's be real, we're all drawn to that warmth. It's human to crave connection and acceptance. But Stoicism teaches us to look deeper, to use our inner wisdom and autonomy to see past the surface. Because sometimes that dazzling charm isn't about connection at all. It's a carefully crafted mask hiding selfish motives or even malice. Think of charm like a beautiful gift box. It's enticing, but what's inside matters more than the wrapping. The Stoics, like Epictetus, urge us to observe closely not just others but ourselves too. Ask, is this person's kindness genuine, or is it a tactic to get something? Genuine charm lifts everyone up without strings attached, but the deceitful kind, it's all about personal gain, control, favors, or power. You'll notice it in the way the mask slips. Maybe their help comes with expectations, or their compliments feel like bait. Trust your gut here. If something feels off, it probably is. Stoicism isn't about cynicism, it's about staying awake to the truth so you can protect your peace and grow stronger. Let me share a story. Meet Mark, a successful businessman who seems like everyone's dream colleague. He's charming, polished, always ready with a story or a helping hand. At first, his team loves him. He shares advice, offers support, and seems to care. But over time, his colleagues notice a pattern. Every favor comes with a catch. Mark's kindness builds a web of you owe me moments, subtly pressuring people to boost his career or reputation. That warm smile hides a calculating mind, using charm to control and profit. His team starts feeling uneasy, realizing his generosity was never about them. It was about him. Ever met a Mark in your life? Someone whose charm felt too good to be true? Here's where Stoicism shines. It doesn't tell you to shut people out or stop trusting. It empowers you to stay aware and autonomous. You can enjoy charm without being blinded by it. Ask yourself, does this person's kindness feel like a gift or a transaction? In work, friendships, or even family, look for consistency. Genuine people don't keep score. Manipulators do. Seneca would remind us that our inner strength, our ability to question motives and stay grounded, keeps us free from these traps. So, reflect for a moment. Have you ever encountered charm that served someone else's agenda? How do you spot the difference between sincere care and a hidden scheme in your workplace or life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. By staying vigilant and true to your own values, you're not just dodging manipulation. You're building a life of clarity and purpose. Stick with us for the next sign to keep sharpening your wisdom and living your best life. Hey, friends, welcome back to our series on spotting malicious behavior through the Stoic lens. Today, we're tackling the third warning sign, the absence of empathy. You know those people who seem to carry a kind of darkness, where kindness or understanding just doesn't exist. It's like they're wired differently, blind to the struggles of others. Spotting this trait isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about protecting your own peace and building a life rooted in compassion. Stoicism teaches us that recognizing this lack of empathy is a form of self-defense, a way to navigate the world with clarity and strength. Let's paint a picture. Imagine a CEO who hears an employee is caring for a sick family member. Instead of offering support, they demand overtime, deny leave, and act like work trumps everything, humanity included. That coldness doesn't just hurt the employee. It tanks morale, breaks trust, and poisons the whole team's vibe. The absence of empathy creates a ripple effect. Stress festers, cooperation fades, and creativity stalls. It's not just a bad day, it's a toxic environment. Ever worked with someone who dismissed your feelings like they didn't matter? Or felt the sting of someone brushing off your struggles? That's the empathy gap, and it's a red flag. Stoicism steps in here with a game plan. Balance reason and emotion. It's not about shutting down your feelings or letting anger take over when you face this kind of coldness. Instead, it's about stepping back, assessing the situation objectively, and choosing how you respond. Seneca nailed it when he said, "It is not what you endure that matters, but how you endure it." You can't control someone else's lack of heart, but you can control your reaction. Practice empathy, not just for others, but for yourself too. Everyone's fighting their own battles, and leaning into compassion, even when it's hard, breaks the cycle of division and suffering. It's like planting a seed for a better, kinder world. Here's a personal take. I've seen this in action, where a colleague's dismissive attitude left a team feeling invisible. But instead of snapping back, one person chose to respond with calm understanding, redirecting the conversation to solutions. That small act didn't just diffuse tension, it inspired others to stay grounded too. Stoicism reminds us we can't avoid these empathy-lacking folks entirely, but we can deal with them consciously. By staying patient and compassionate, you protect your integrity and set an example. It's not easy, especially when someone's indifference tests your patience, but that's where your inner strength shines. So, here's a question for you. How do you practice compassion for yourself and others, especially in tough situations? What helps you hold on to it when someone's coldness makes you want to shut down? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what keeps you grounded. By choosing empathy and staying true to your values, you're not just dodging toxicity, you're building a life that radiates understanding and resilience. Stick with us for the next sign to keep honing your stoic wisdom and living your best life. Hey friends, welcome back to our series on spotting malicious behavior through the stoic lens. Today, we're diving into the fourth warning sign, the web of lies. We've all met someone who bends the truth like it's second nature, spinning stories to get what they want, whether it's power, control, or just dodging responsibility. These aren't little white lies. They're calculated, often pathological, and they come without a hint of remorse. Recognizing this pattern is like learning to spot a storm on the horizon. It gives you a chance to brace yourself and protect your peace. Picture someone who changes their story every time you talk, or whose explanations just don't add up. Maybe they overreact when you ask a simple question, deflecting with drama or excuses. That's the web of lies at work, and it's a hallmark of malicious intent. In a workplace, this kind of dishonesty is like poison. It erodes trust, kills morale, and drags down productivity. One person's lies can turn a positive team into a toxic mess, leaving everyone second-guessing what's real. Ever caught someone in a lie that made you question everything they've said? It's unsettling, right? That's why Stoicism is such a powerful tool here. It teaches us to stay calm, keep our emotions in check, and approach the situation with clear-headed awareness. You can't control the liar, but you can control how their words affect you. Let's look at an example. Anna, a diligent team member, notices her colleague Tom's reports don't add up. Numbers shift, achievements are inflated, and stories change week to week. Tom's gunning for a promotion, and his lies are his ladder. Instead of getting angry or confronting him emotionally, Anna channels her inner stoic. She gathers evidence calmly, documents the inconsistencies, and presents them to her manager with cool-headed clarity. No drama, just facts. Her approach sparks an investigation, and the truth comes out. The company learns a hard lesson about valuing honesty and transparency, and Anna's integrity shines. That's the Stoic way, staying grounded, not letting lies pull you into chaos. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." Lies can feel like a tidal wave, but you don't have to get swept away. Stoicism gives you the courage and wisdom to stand firm, to choose truth over deception, and to protect your autonomy. It's about building a life and a world where honesty and respect are non-negotiable. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever dealt with someone whose lies threw you off balance? How did you handle it, and what did you learn? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've navigated this. By staying vigilant and true to your values, you're not just dodging the web of lies, you're weaving a stronger, more authentic life. Stick with us for the next sign to keep sharpening your stoic wisdom and living with clarity and purpose. Hey friends, welcome back to the final part of our series on spotting malicious behavior through the stoic lens. Today, we're tackling the fifth and perhaps most insidious warning sign, the mastery of manipulation. This is where the art of domination hides in the shadows, pulling strings like a puppeteer to bend others to its will. Manipulators don't just want control, they crave it, weaving schemes and deceit to get what they want, often leaving a trail of broken trust and shattered self-worth. Recognizing this trait isn't just about self-defense, it's about reclaiming your freedom and building a life grounded in truth and virtue. You've probably met someone like this, someone who showers you with flattery or fake tears, only to later reveal a cold agenda. Their words feel warm, but their actions betray a calculated motive. Exploitation, betrayal, or power. Maybe it's a colleague who supports you but nudges you into decisions that serve them, or a friend who guilt trips you into compliance. These are the hallmarks of manipulation, subtle, slick, and designed to prey on your vulnerabilities. The consequences, they are heavy. Manipulation can upend your life, tangle you in lies, and strip away your autonomy, leaving scars that linger long after the manipulator's gone. Ever felt like you lost a piece of yourself trying to please someone else's agenda? That's their game. Here's where stoicism becomes your shield. Epictetus reminds us, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. In other words, you can't stop a manipulator's schemes, but you can choose how to respond. Stoicism calls you to sharpen your mind and intuition, to pause and reflect before reacting. Are they appealing to your fears or insecurities? Are their words too perfect, their empathy too rehearsed? By staying self-aware, maybe through journaling or a quiet moment of meditation, you fortify your spirit against their allure. It's about leaning into your inner virtue and courage, choosing rationality over emotional traps. I've seen this play out. A friend once fell for a manipulator's charm, only to realize their support was a ploy for personal gain. Stepping back, reflecting, and setting boundaries saved her peace and her sense of self. Think about your own life. Have you ever been swayed by someone who knew just how to push your buttons? What fears or desires did they exploit, and how did you break free? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've navigated this. Stoicism teaches us that true patience and strength are tested in these moments. By holding fast to your ethics, you become your own guiding torch, navigating deception with clarity and courage. You're not just dodging manipulation, you're building a life of integrity and purpose. This series has been about empowering you to see clearly, to protect your peace, and to live with wisdom. Use these stoic tools to spot manipulation early, to choose your responses wisely, and to create a world where trust and respect thrive. Thank you for joining me. Let's keep walking this path of truth together. Hey, friends, welcome to the final chapter of our journey through the stoic lens, where we've been uncovering the signs of malicious behavior to protect our peace and live more meaningfully. Today, in part 6, we're tying it all together with a deep dive into discovering your true nature and how recognizing these 5 signs of harmful people can guide you toward a life of clarity, purpose, and connection. The world's a mixed bag, full of kind souls and those with less than honest intentions. Stoicism isn't just about spotting the bad apples. It's about building a life where you stay true to your values, no matter who you encounter. Let's recap those 5 signs we've explored, because they are more than just red flags. They're a roadmap to understanding human nature and protecting your spirit. First, there's fakeness in communication. You know those people who lay on the charm a little too thick, like they're reading from a script. Their sweetness often hides an agenda. Stoicism pushes us to value sincerity. Watch if their actions back up their words. Second, the habit of blaming others. Ever met someone who's never at fault? They point fingers at everyone else, dodging responsibility like it's a sport. Stoicism teaches us to own what we can control and accept what we can't. No excuses. Third, a lack of empathy. These folks seem blind to others' feelings, caring only about their own goals. Stoicism reminds us that empathy is the glue of real relationships. Fourth, the abuse of power. Some people wield control like a weapon, harming others to feel strong. Stoicism urges us to use any influence we have for the common good, not to oppress. And finally, excessive self-love. This isn't confidence. It's selfishness that tramples others for personal gain. Stoicism calls for humility, putting community above ego. Think about your own life. Maybe you've worked with someone who blamed everyone but themselves for a project's failure, or a friend who seemed caring but ignored your struggles when it didn't suit them. I once knew someone who used their charm to climb the social ladder, only to drop people once they got what they wanted. Spotting these patterns early saved me from deeper hurt, and it can do the same for you. Stoicism isn't about shutting people out. It's about sharpening your discernment so you can build healthier relationships. It's about self-control, accepting what you can't change, and living with integrity. Here's a question to ponder. Which of these signs have you noticed in your own life, and how did you handle it? Maybe you set boundaries or chose to walk away. Share your story in the comments because we're all learning here. Marcus Aurelius would say that life's challenges are opportunities to practice virtue, to choose courage and wisdom over chaos. By recognizing these signs, you're not just protecting yourself, you're paving the way for a happier, more meaningful life surrounded by people who lift you up. Thank you for joining me on this Stoic journey. Let's keep using these tools to live with clarity, build stronger connections, and create a world rooted in truth and kindness. Stay wise, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Hey friends, we've reached the end of our journey through the Stoic lens, where we've been uncovering the warning signs of malicious behavior to help us live with more clarity, strength, and peace. Life is a wild ride, full of highs, lows, and people who test our resolve. But here's the truth. Recognizing and steering clear of those with harmful intentions isn't just a skill. It's a superpower rooted in Stoic wisdom. This series has been about arming you with the tools to spot those red flags, protect your inner peace, and build a life that's true to your values. Let's wrap it up with some final thoughts to carry forward. Over the past videos, we've explored 5 key signs: control, fake charm, lack of empathy, lies, and manipulation. Each one is like a signal flare, warning you to stay vigilant. Maybe you've seen these traits in a coworker who twists the truth for their own gain, or a friend whose care always comes with strings attached. These aren't just annoyances, they're threats to your trust, your relationships, and your sense of self. Stoicism doesn't just point out the problem, it hands you a roadmap. It's about focusing on what you can control, your reactions, your choices, your ethics. As Epictetus would say, it's not the events that shape your life, but how you respond to them. That's where your true power lies. Let me share a quick story. A while back, I had a colleague who seemed like a dream teammate, charming, supportive, always ready to lend a hand. But over time, I noticed their help always came with an agenda. Favors owed, subtle power plays. Spotting those signs early, thanks to a bit of Stoic clarity, helped me set boundaries and keep my peace intact. It wasn't about cutting them out, it was about choosing how I engaged. That's what this series is about, empowering you to see clearly, act wisely, and surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. So, here's a question for you. Have you encountered any of these warning signs in your own life? Maybe a controlling boss, a manipulative friend, or someone whose words never matched their actions. What did you do to protect yourself? Drop your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've navigated these challenges. Your experiences might inspire someone else watching. If this series has sparked something in you, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more videos like this. We're all on this journey together, learning how to live with strength and purpose. Stoicism isn't about avoiding life's challenges. It's about facing them with courage, wisdom, and a commitment to doing what's right. By recognizing these signs and choosing your responses carefully, you're not just dodging toxicity. You're building a life filled with meaning, trust, and genuine connection. Keep these Stoic principles close and let them guide you toward a stronger, more peaceful you. Thank you for joining me on this ride. Stay wise, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.